In the event of a funnel, let go and then reform the first formation to continue with the dive. On side door aircraft, without a strut and step, all the same principles apply, but extra effort is required to pre-position in the door for proper presentation of your torso to the relative wind. Repeat dives 7, 10, 13, 14, and 15, with you and your partner alternating between the instructor and student roles for a total of 10 jumps. Do not attempt to increase the degree of difficulty by intentionally adding fall rate problems to the dives the way a professional instructor would do. Completing the formations will be challenging enough. Guideline number 1 is easy. Take your instructor along with you and your partner to strengthen the group. Guideline 2 is another easy one. Never, ever be the low man on the dive. But if one of your partners goes low, it's your job to move down to him. Don't wait for him to come up to you. Time to make up for mistakes that result from trying to go too fast. The only way to save time is to start your maneuvers sooner so that you can then take the time to do them right the first time. So the maxim is, move now, but move slowly. Guideline 4 is to dirt dive more. Ground practice isn't just for beginners. The best skydivers in the business dirt dive as much or more than most because they know that mistakes are expensive while dirt dives are free. Guideline 5 is to always stick to the plan you dirt dived. Never deviate from it in any way for any reason. Any plan B, no matter how well it's executed, is, by definition, a failure. Remember that smooth movement through the entire sequence is the goal. Grip switching or improvising in any way can only make a bad moment worse. In Dive 16, your group builds a line formation and takes turns individually flying from one side to the other. The objectives of the dive are simple, the most important one being to adjust yourselves to skydiving with 2 other people. This dive also gives you an opportunity to exercise our new fall rate policy due to an individual flyer's tendency to drop below. If you're in the two-way line and find yourself seeing the backpack of the solo flyer, relax into a slightly faster falling position to bring him back into the dive. When it's time for your own solo move, anticipate the problem and see if you can solve it before the two-way has to. Likewise, be prepared to react before horizontal separation becomes a factor. In Dive 17, you practice some free-flying skills by rotating through a series of opposed wedges as each person takes his turn at the point of the wedge with a heading opposite the others. Remember to turn heads to see the entire group as opposed to focusing on grips. This will help fight the ever-present temptation to reach. In Dive 18, you again build a series of opposed wedges, but with individual go-around moves similar to Dive 16. The challenge in flying the two-way piece is in maintaining eye contact with the solo flyer as he goes around. The end person has the middle person blocking his view to contend with, while the middle person has to do a head switch. Again, the solo flyer must concentrate on staying close, both horizontally and vertically, always remembering that the slow move in close takes less time than a fast move that scribes a wider arc. Dive 19 differs only in the direction of the individual go-around move, which changes the dive's primary focus from forward-backward control to side-to-side control. In dive 20, you practice the star formation as individuals fly completely around to their original slot. This move will require more discipline of the solo flyer to stay close, as speed builds up in the orbit and head switches of both flyers in the two-way. In dive 21, you and your partner practice side body grips as you fly around your instructor, who signals the brakes from formation to formation. Side body grips tolerate even less reaching than star or stair-step grips. Think about putting your nose in the instructor's ribs before closing hands on grips. Dive 22 is similar to 21, but with star and cat grips. On this dive, you and your partner look for the completed big picture and signal the brakes yourselves. Cats are one of the most delicate types of grips, so be sure to fly into place and stop completely before taking them. Dive 23 combines dives 21 and 22 into our first 4-point three-way dive. As the list of formations gets longer, so must the amount of time devoted to dirt dives. Dive 24 combines all the grips covered thus far, making for a brain-busting 8-point sequence. Remember again, our goal is to move our boxman body position around the sky without ever moving out of the position itself. Four-way is also one of the formats that competition is based on. In dive 25, we add another jumper to the end of our opposed wedge to make a four-way accordion. As on dive 19, we drop one person off to go around to build another four-way accordion. Whenever another jumper is added to a group's equation, the potential for difficulty multiplies, as does the opportunity for fun, if the group remembers to stick to the basics to solve what may appear to be very complex problems.